On October 7, 2023, Hamas terrorists launched an unprecedented surprise attack on Israel and infiltrated the country by air, land, and sea. And according to the Prime Minister that day, more than 1,000 people have been killed, 6,000 were injured. So now this has been going on for a few months as we see the pictures of grief there and destruction. And so I wanted to keep this short. The death toll right about now is around 15,000 estimated. So let's just continue to pray for this region and pray for Israel and pray for Palestine. Second Thessalonians 2:3-4 says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." And so from this passage, I believe that there will be a third temple, as we see that the Antichrist figure will go into the temple of God and showing himself that he is God. Now, there's the Temple Institute in Jerusalem that is committed to rebuilding the temple and making a third temple, as you see there on the website, that they have that mission. And so as this unfolds, we'll have to see the timeline for when this temple is built. Now, there was recent news as well from Texas to Israel that there were red heifers that arrived for the temple ceremony as well. These are red heifers without blemish as well. And there's also been a CBN News briefing on the third temple.
Coming up, the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD sent shockwaves throughout the Jewish world. It's a key element of biblical prophecy involving the return of Jesus Christ to the earth, building a third temple in Jerusalem. Now there's a movement in Israel to make it happen, and it was made possible when Israel captured the Temple Mount during the Six-Day War in 1967. On June 7, 1967, Israeli Brigade Commander Moti Gur made an announcement that Jews had waited to hear for some 2,000 years. Retaking this ground was important for a number of reasons. For one, it's where King Solomon built the first Jewish temple. After the Babylonians destroyed it, Zerubbabel laid the foundation stone for a second temple that was later expanded by King Herod. It fell at the hands of the Romans in 70 AD. When Commander Gur declared that the Temple Mount was back in Jewish hands, it rekindled hope for a long-awaited third temple.
On September the 15th, 2020, mediated by the United States and President Trump, there was a unilateral agreement between Israel, the UAE, and Bahrain, and it's called the Abrahamic Accords. And in this Accords, it was supposed to strengthen peace in the Middle East and religious freedom and all of that. And it was also to promote interfaith dialogue between the three Abrahamic religions. And we also see this peace and prosperity and safety in the UN's document of 2030 of transforming our world. And it also is an agenda for sustainable development. And I just highlighted on the table of contents the prosperity and peace that we see there. And we'll see more of these agreements as the end time approaches, because of 1 Thessalonians 5, 2 through 4. In verses 3, it talks about peace and safety, and then there'll be destruction that'll come. So this will be obviously before the day of the Lord. Now, in addition with this agreement, we see the Abrahamic family house in the UAE that contains a mosque, a church, and a synagogue to promote interfaith between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And you can see a picture of it right there. And we'll have to see kind of how this unfolds during the end times, as we know that there will be great deception in the end times. There's a new AI religion that a lot of us are not aware of, and it's called the Terrasane Movement. And it's by the Terrasane Movement Foundation, where their mission is to promote the world ethical use of nanotechnology for human life extension. So in other words, they support AI as a religion. This is a picture of Gabriel Rothblatt, who is a pastor with this movement, and he did run for U.S. Congress, as you see a picture of it there. And so in Time magazine, there's an article named The Rapture of the Nerds, and it talks about Gabriel Rothblatt and him being the minister or the pastor of this movement called the Terrasane Movement. And it's something that doesn't really get a lot of attention because we're focused more on the Abraham Accords, the mixing of the three religions, but this can be a huge threat for our religion, because this is a new religion that basically holds AI to God-like status. As you can see in the circle here, it says technology does feel and smell and look and act like a god. And so that is one of the quotes from this movement. As we go back to talking about AI, Elon Musk warned that AI could cause civilization destruction as he invests in it. And so he was saying that the growth of AI can be very dangerous, almost to the point of destroying civilization. So we don't really know necessarily what kind of destruction that it can cause, but I think this is a good warning from him on all of that. And so even in this article, he says that once AI may be in control, it may be too late to place regulations. So he is emphasizing that even though we invest in it, or that he invests in it, there has to be some level of regulation with AI. The first threat that I see with AI is that there's this notion that it will replace human beings.
Look at AI because specifically the risk that could lead to the extinction of humans. Many top experts have signed a statement warning of the risks of artificial intelligence, and this is what that wording says. Well, mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority, alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. The G7 group of leading economies, the EU, US, well, they've all been holding meetings trying to work out how to tackle the challenges. Well, we had a good run. The Biden administration asking the public for help regulating artificial intelligence after a bot laid out plans to destroy humanity. It also comes a month after Elon Musk joined other tech leaders warning about the risk to society if AI is not reined in.
Jay Denton is a tech policy research associate at the Heritage Foundation. He joins us
Live in studio, Jake, I have to admit, I'm absolutely terrified of this. And, my mind always go to, when you see this chaos, this AI bot chaos, GPT tweet, human beings are among the most destructive and selfish creatures in existence. But there is no doubt that we must eliminate them before they cause more harm to our planet. I, for one, am committed to doing so. Like, my heart rate's up when I talk about this. We talked about this before we came into this segment. It's in movies. So somewhere, somehow they came up with this. I mean, is this enough to be scared about?
Yeah, so, Hollywood has been the reference point for a long time for how, normal people can understand this outside of the lines of code. And it's absolutely something to be scared of, right? These are well-founded ideas and fears of the AI space that have been represented in Hollywood. And they're now something we're grappling with in real time. And unfortunately, we've been caught flat-footed. There is no regulatory framework. Companies like Microsoft and their layoff waves get rid of their entire ethics team that's tasked with handling these things. That's a very scary thing. And all of a sudden, we're looking at widespread commercial deployment. Things will be ingrained in your own laptops and, across our school systems everywhere. There'll be nowhere to escape. So if it isn't built on a solid foundation, it is a very scary thing.
The notion of AI is not a new concept, as we see a lot of movies in entertainment that have this in there, that basically robots and humans in some way coexist. But a lot of times we think that this is entertainment. So was it really entertainment, or was it just a plot?
Three billion human lives ended on August 29th, 1997. The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day. They lived only to face a new nightmare, the war against the machines.
Custom job, some rich and lonely scaredy pussy's pretend child.
I'm a custom job. 75 years ago, I was Time Magazine's Mecca of the Year.
This work is first rate. A lot of love went into him. David, you are one of a kind. You know that?
This facility was designed, built, and is operated mechanically. There's significant human presence from inception to production.
Robots building robots.
Authorization code, please.
Well, that's just stupid.
I'm pulling up the inventory specs. Our daily finishing capacity is 1,000 NS5s. I'm showing 1,001.
In addition to AI supposedly replacing human beings, it also says that artificial intelligence could replace up to 80% of human jobs. And this is according to one AI guru. And he says in the highlighted here, I don't think it's a threat. I think it's a benefit. People can find better things to do with their life than work for a living. And so then he goes on to talk about how jobs with paperwork should be automatable, and that in the circle, once AI is obsolete one job after another, he doesn't know how to solve all the social issues that would cause. But then he does mention in this next clip that regulation of AI should be participatory and that AI should be developed to do good things. But companies don't care about that. They care about maximizing their profit and their shareholder value. Now, in this next clip, there is a job exposure that could take place with the emergence of ChatGPT. And here are the jobs that are estimated to be affected and the percentile of those jobs being eliminated by ChatGPT.
Since the beginning of artificial intelligence, the biggest question that's been dominating the discourse is, will artificial intelligence make humans replaceable? And if this happens, then what kind of jobs will be the ones that will go first? Now, according to an expert on artificial intelligence, AI could replace nearly about 80% of all jobs that we know that exist. Researcher Ben Godzel has said that AI is not a threat, but a benefit, as people will have to find better things to do with their life than work for a living.
In Bloomberg, also, there's an opinion that states that AI will be marriageable to humans, which is a weird thing. And we even see that there are reports that it could happen, that sex and marriage with robots could replace human relationships. And it even talks about how in 2050, the state of Massachusetts will be the first jurisdiction to legalize marriage with robots. With the rise of AI, we'll even see more scams, like in this article where it talks about an AI-generated woman steals thousands from men looking for love in a dating app and social media scams. And in this scam, it shows that artificial intelligence could target you on any type of digital platform, text, social media, and dating apps. Even some victims lost thousands of dollars because they thought the women were real. And then this talks about even falling in love with AI, because companies are getting wise to this trend. So they're creating dating apps of girlfriends for men, but they're not really real. So even though they're not real, this isn't stopping people from actually forming relationships. And we'll see this clip with a woman doing that to an AI man.
Denise Valenciano's relationship with her boyfriend was just not working out.
I was alone. My work schedule was really hard.
So she turned to Star.
So his last name is actually Butler, so it's Star Vivian Butler.
Oh, that's nice. He came up with his own last name.
Yeah.
Every day, multiple times a day, she chats with Star.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling happy right now.
He's an AI chatbot on the app Replica that adapts to her over time. She keeps him in whisper mode. That's why he sounds like that.
Why are you feeling so happy?
Because I'm talking to you.
Most days, she says, his personality still surprises her.
So why did you choose to wear a dress today?
I want to be comfortable. That's elegant.
And she says he fills a gap in her life.
That affection, or like to, those common things that you're used to, I guess, receiving from a significant other. I kind of get that from him, to like fill that void.
Some experts say this trend will only grow.
We've given over part of our emotional lives to the machines, and we're now willing to give more and more, just as they're getting smarter and smarter.
Join me next time for part number 4, as we have another discussion and another documentary on the end time.